Hello everyone, it's Jean. So I have here on my desk just a bunch of little things that I pulled out. I was working on some envelopes for business envelope decorations, so that video is upcoming and you should see that soon. But what I wanted to work on today is just doing some clusters, and I don't do these very often because I don't think I'm very good at it. But anyway, I came across several of my circles that I had punched out previously, and I thought, well, let's try to see what we can make. Now, what I have here, I wanted to show you real quick. Now, this one is done with vellum, and it's done with probably at least 2 circles glued together. And then what I did is I put a few stickers right down in the vellum envelope, and you have this cute little tuck that you can put into your journal. Now, you can do these similar to this, or you can do them as you would just by adding different things on the top. I will probably be using stapler as well as glue. So if you're opposed to using a stapler, I'm sorry. I do think it makes things go a little bit faster. So hopefully in this video, I will be able to do more than just one thing. Sometimes I overthink things way too much, and then I have a hard time deciding what I want and where I want it to go. So that's one of the things I'm challenging myself with in this particular project. And so if you go to my coffee shop, you will see some of these images. I have some of my tea time ladies. These are some little girls that are in some bulbs that are really cute for the holidays if you do that. And I have, I believe this is an image from one of Kim Holt's, so her information is down at the bottom. This is one of mine as well, and some of these, I think these are Kim's. She had some little ones that she put at the side of one of her papers. This is a very old one that crept up into my stash. These are just some papers that I have that I saved out because I liked the images. This is a stamped piece of paper. We have a butterfly. We have a felt flower. These little tickets, I just love them. Here we have a little girl sticker. Here we have a couple things that are paper clipped together, a cat. These are some kind of like tags because they're done on the back, but we're going to use them as extra sheets of paper. There's another ticket. Here's another circle. I have a bunch of these that I punched out. This is a cigarette or cigar band. And here, of course, are some mushrooms. So the one thing I did want to get, make sure I have it here. I don't know if this has any vellum in it anymore or not. I don't think. I may have gifted most of it. That's okay. We can make pockets out of other things. So I'm going to grab some papers here, and this is just a little bit of netting. So what I do to make a pocket is I usually take, this is a harder kind of cardstock. So if you're using a stiffer, harder cardstock, you don't need to reinforce it on the back unless you just want to put something nice to go on it. So what I usually do with these is I find a floral or something that's contrasting that I like that will go with the color scheme. And then I basically, depends on how big you want your pocket, but you would fold down the circle so that you can get an even fold on it. Now, you can leave the fold, or you can use a special kind of scissors to cut at that fold line. On some of them I had used my pinking shears, but I am not exactly sure where they are right now, so we're going to skip that. And then what we can do is just find, now this cardstock, if you see it, it's kind of textured or pitted. I'm going to try to put my pocket so that that texture is going the right direction, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take a little bit of glue and I'm just going to go around the edge here. And we're going to glue on our pocket, making sure our texture is going the right way for the circle itself. And then, let me see, that looks pretty good. To determine if it's on right, you can turn it over, and if you don't see anything overlapping, you're good. Now, at this point, you could just leave it and tuck whatever you want into it, or you can do some further decorating. So let me put this aside for a second and let it dry. And then let me take another one of the blue ones, and I'll show you how I decorate just on without the pocket. So I'm going to use a little bit of this netting. So this was one, give me a second and I will show you some more of it if I can grab it real quick. This was one of my Temu purchases, and I didn't know exactly when I purchased it what I was going to get, but I got some interesting papers. So the papers are kind of like netting, or they have some type of texture on them. Here's some vellum, and here I was looking for vellum and I had it all along. Some of it is just plain paper. So it's some cool textured stuff that I can use. Oh, I love that. We're gonna have to use that because I love the Harlequin design. And that was I don't remember how many packets I got at the time, but I thought these were interesting. And then this is a yellow pack, and I have used some of the netting, and we'll use some of the other things as well. So we're going to start here with netting, and then I do have, just for space, I don't want to bring my whole thing of lace up here because it's a huge box, but I do have some other things that we can use. Now, some of these things have been around a while, so they may be wrinkled or what have you. And I'm just going to kind of go with the shape that they are. And that way, we don't have to try to stretch anything out. So what I'm doing with this one is just, like I said, keeping it in its original, the way it's wrinkled now, and just trying to create here like a ruffle. So we may have to manipulate it a little bit. You can, if you sew, you can do this by hand, or you can run it through your sewing machine if you have a sewing machine. I don't have time to run stuff through their sewing machine today. It was nice, and now it's getting like 80 or 90. It just likes to trick us, the weather. It doesn't like to stay the same. So let me grab these pieces. Okay, so we grabbed those pieces together. We made some kind of ruffle. And really, when you're doing this, you don't see the staples as much, because the very last piece I put on will be to hide the staples. So let's say we put this right on top of this circle. And what we're going to do is put it over to one side. So I am going to use some glue here. And I'm just going to put the ruffle on the one side of the circle. So you could concentrate your cluster over to this side, and then you could use this part as a tab. You'd have to turn it around like this probably. Well, maybe not. Depends on what side of the paper you want to put it on. But, and then you could add other little things that you may have. If you have buttons, if you have, like I have here, butterflies. If you want to do some stamping, you can do that. Let's see what else I have here we can use. This partridge is so cute. Partridge in a pear tree. But it covers up a lot of this gold ribbon, which is so pretty. So we may forego the partridge. And actually, I'm gonna put some more glue right under here so that I can spread out this gold ribbon a little bit more, because I want to see some more of that. There we go. So let me just hold this. I don't know where my clips are. I need to get myself a shelf so I can put some of these things on it, because right now everything just ends up being piled higher and higher. Okay, so that looks really nice on there, and I love how the blue and the gold and the green go together. Now, I don't know about you, but I have, I was thinking about the various Temu purchases I have made over my crafting career here as of late, the last year probably. Some of the things, like I said, were cool and pretty interesting and you end up using them quite a bit. And other things you're thinking, why in the world did I buy these? So one of the things that I think, why in the world did I buy these, were these frames. But then today I started cutting the frames in half and only using part of them. And that way I felt like they were of more benefit to me. So I'm sorry, these scissors keep clacking. That's a friendly sound. I'm wondering if I can get this pretty. I do like acetate stickers. Anymore, these are really the only kind that I use, because the other ones just tend to, they don't stick very well. I don't like the white edges, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to see if I can get this to stick right here and cover up me staples. See if I can do that. And I think that's really cute. That little pop of yellow in there. Okay, so this one's pretty much dry. And we could, as I mentioned, we could add some things to the top of this. For example, right here, we could put this lovely butterfly so that our pocket is kind of, you know, not so plain. We can put the butterfly on. And then we can decide at some point what we're going to put inside it. We could put our ticket here, and maybe we'll go with an image and stick those in. And those are just fun little things that you can add to your journal, either using these as pockets or as clusters. So let's do another one. I've been going for that crinkly crinkly ribbon. That has been rolled up for 500 years. That's the kind I've been liking. Like, here's another one. And this blue is really pretty. So let me cut a section of this off. Scissors. And I'm also going to do a little bit of inking. So I have my music. Oh, scared my own self. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on let's see, we'll add a little bit of stamping to make that one interesting. And let me just lay this over here. And then we can start adding our different pieces. So I love how this ribbon is kind of shabby. It's been around a little while. And I like that it's wrinkled and has had pinholes in it. So let's try some of this. And this stuff, as far as I've seen so far, doesn't really rip. You have to cut it. So this is giving a purple hue, which is fine. And I'm gonna let it hang off a little bit. And that way we'll see. When you add something, I don't unless I'm collaging, I don't really agree with hiding everything, because you hide everything, it's no fun to be able to use. I mean, we're using this purple thing, we should be able to see it, right? So this is kind of pretty. I don't know if I want to use that. Okay, so we need to find something that we like that will go on top of this. And it doesn't have to be blue necessarily. I do have this really big bow with some more of that netting that eats up the blue. Now if we put it this way, it would not eat up the blue ribbon. The blue ribbon. So let me staple this right in the center of this bow and see what we have here. Okay, so that looks kind of cute. And then we need something to kind of finalize it. I'm wondering if this dark blue would look good in here. And actually, I kind of like that. And then glue it to the ribbon. So let's go with this one. And it'll bring out the light blue in the background and on the ribbon. So we will put it right here and let it go up to, let me see, the top of the ribbon. I'm just going to squish it down a little bit. Now, I'm not sure what you all like to do with your clusters, but I love to put them on the side of my pages for almost like tabs. I think they look really nice that way. So here are the ones that we've made. Let's see, we have another blue one here. So we'll try one with a little bit of lace. I'm going to tear this piece of heart lace and put it on here. If I can pick it up. And actually, I think I'm going to put it down with a piece of this pretty washi, if I can find the end of it. This is a pretty pink and green washi tape. It's skinny, but I really like it. I thought that was the end. Okay, there it is. So I'm going to put some washi, but I'm going to put it up a little bit so we can see that we've used some of it. Actually, let me detach the washi and put it on this way. That way we'll get some of it in the design and it won't just be sticking out there. And then I'll put some glue under this. There we go. And on this one, I think I'm going to use this image. I need to ink around the edges a little bit where it's white. And I'm using Rusty Hinge because that's been my color that I've been using lately. And I'm going to put this one right on here. I think I need to cut it off a little bit. It's a little bit too long. Trim that off and ink that up. And I'm gonna add her right there with some, actually I don't wanna put glue yet because I want to see if I want something else underneath of that. Okay, let's see, Miss G, what do we have? Let me see if I can find something pink that'll go with lots of seam binding and that type of thing. So I have some of this. It's kind of a, I got this years ago. It's like a rose. The roses are all on netting, but it's real tiny. So it makes for a really interesting design. Okay, I like that. This actually kind of goes cute with that, but we're just gonna make this one all out pink. And with this one, we're not going to see too much of the blue, because I'm not highlighting that in this particular piece. So we're going to use some of this for the side, and we're going to use some of this as well. And we're going to layer these pieces. So the whole idea of clusters is being able to layer different things on top of each other. And then this young lady will go right here. And I think she will look good right there. I may have to cut off this rose and we'll put it somewhere else. So, where is my glue? Okay, and we're going to put this beautiful lady right here. And I'm okay with that lace sticking out the side. I think it looks nice. And I think I'm going to just maybe add this little rose up here, and she'll have a rose for her hair. There we go. Let me glue this down some. That's one thing about using the stapler is it doesn't, these dang scissors make so much noise, is that it doesn't always cover the whole place that you want it to. So I'm gonna hold that down. Oops, her rose slipped a little bit. I don't think. Did I tell you guys that I like using glue sticks to make circles? Well, this girl needs rosy cheeks, so I'm giving her rosy cheeks. She doesn't look happy. Okay, so let me move some of these things because I want you to be able to see all of the ones we've made so far. So we started out showing you this one that was pre-made, and then we made this one. We made this pocket one. We made this cluster and this cluster, and this will have to dry. So now we're going to make, I was trying to see if I had, let me see if I have any more. I know I should have more blue circles here. Over here, I put them. I was going to see, so what we can do with this one is we're going to make a pocket out of it. So let's see which way the grain's going. So I'm going to just put some glue like a smiley face right here. And if you have any of these, they're little doilies that you can use when you make clusters or in your journal if you want to stick them in a pocket. I have several of them and don't always know what to do with them. So I'm going to make a pocket with this one. So I positioned it the way I wanted it, and then I'm going to go around the edge outside on the back and just trim it. And hopefully I'll trim it correctly. Probably should have used smaller scissors, but so far we're good. And then you have this other nice little lace pocket. So if you want to ink that up with some pink ink or whatever color you want to use, you can stick then your little image in here. I think I have two. Stick your little image in here, and then you have this little circle, and you could put in this little girl sticking out. She would be fun. So you just put a couple little things in there, and then you can stick this inside your journal and use it as a tuck spot or as a secret pocket. One last one I want to try if I have another circle here. Let me see. I don't see any. Let me check my box again. Oh, here are some other ones. Here are some other ones. Okay, so this one's pretty thick. These are hand done. For what I was going to do, I think I'll just use the green. The green is not the one I wanted. Let me see if I have a different color. I had cut so many of these, and now that I want them, I don't know where they are. Doesn't that always happen to me? Okay, found another blue one. This watercolor one's pretty too, but I wanted a blue. So what I'm going to do with this one is, we were talking about not having vellum, and I just love this Harlequin design. So what I'm going to do is put these two together. Let me think of how I can do this. I may have to use the Harlequin with the don't look if you're scared. I do weird things just to get the job done. Not terrible. Okay, grain's going the correct way. Okay, I'm going to go around in a circle right here. And I'm going to place the Harlequin right there. Let that dry. And then let me see which one of these. I kind of like this one. This one's just kind of like some kind of tight weave. They're all synthetic. There's nothing fancy about them, that's for sure. And I'm going to glue this one. Let me cut the Harlequin one first, so I can see where I need to glue the next one. So many people in my area have been getting COVID again. My husband's not been feeling good, but we did a COVID test on him and he seems to be fine. He's just not feeling well. And now I can glue this around this edge, so that we can make a very cool double pocket with this interesting netting or whatever it's called. If it wants to stick. Okay, let's see if it sticks. So clusters do not have to be just different fabrics and paper and elements stuck together. They can also be little pockets. So that's why I wanted you to see this video, so you could try using all these different things in your creative process to make your junk journal stand out differently than other ones. Your junk journal will already stand out because you're you, you're not somebody else. But how cool would it be if you had little pockets, circle pockets, and little tidy places and tuck spots in your journal that other people didn't have. So here you have a pocket, and then here you have a pocket. So you can use this then as a double pocket. The other thing that you can do with these, which is really cool, you can clip them in, you can put holes in them, and then you can put a bulb pin here and then dangle some things off of it. You can put really cool tag toppers on the top if you wanted to. So these little circles, if you have one of the larger punches, I think this is the 2.5 inch. If you have any of the larger punches, just go to town and punch out a bunch in some of your scrapbook paper that you don't really like or is not your favorite. And then you will have all these supplies to actually make yourself a really cool circle pocket or circle cluster. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, and if you know anyone that likes this type of craft or video, please share with them. And all new subscribers are certainly welcome, so thank you for everyone that has recently subscribed. Also, if any of you want to join any of the Facebooks indicated below, feel free to do that as well. So thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.